So without further ado, let me introduce our first story. The story is called Disembodied by Hwei-Shin Harriman.
Begin with a dollop of prescription painkiller ointment applied directly behind my right ankle bone. Follow with a carefully constructed brace made entirely of not one, not two, but 3 different types of athletic tape, and it must be massaged vigorously for proper adhesion. But the one bit covering my right ankle won't stay put because the painkiller cream is messy and oily, so the whole affair must be quickly wiggled into a $50 compression sock. Next up is the toe cap. It's at least a few weeks old, fashioned from purple duct tape folded in and around itself, just the latest in a long line of attempts to even out the length between my first and second toes. Slide it over the big toe. Then comes the point shoe, the pink satin coffin of death. Slip its heel over mine, wrap the shiny pink ribbons around my ankle, tie in a knot, and tuck the loose ends away. There, glamorous. 2 years off of school, living in Amsterdam, dancing all day. This is what every ballerina dreams of. But 8 months of living this fairy tale, and what do I have to show for it? Lots of European medical bills, no job security, a habit for binge eating rice cakes, and a very lame best friend I've nicknamed Incessant Stabbing Pain. Even so, to me, the thought of quitting was unforgivable. Another day, another 30 minutes into the first class of the day. I'm doing the same steps that I've been doing for 14 years, except for the habitual wince that has crept into my routine as of late. The ballet mistress is raving about her favorite girl in the studio again. Not me. Making all sorts of sounds to express the pleasure she gets from watching this tiny Japanese girl point her feet. I stretch my legs just a little bit further, tiny micro adjustments on the logistic growth function to perfection. But then the expensive athletic tape comes ever so slightly undone, and it's game over. I stop to rub my ankle while my classmates continue dancing. The ballet mistress doesn't even look at me. To her, it's just the same story as always. But something in my spirit snapped. I moved back home within the month. A few months later, I arrive at Olin for move-in day. The winding driveway and colorful lamppost banners greet me and my family. It's just as lovely and welcoming a campus as I remember it from my candidates weekend over 2 years ago. Even so, my body is tensed with nervous energy. After putting my education on hold to chase my ballet dreams, would I even be able to keep up? Just yesterday, I was scrolling through the class Facebook group, and some of these kids have patents and companies, and what is this first robotics competition that 3/4 of my class participated in? All I've got are some really rusty calculus skills and a desperate need for some redemption. I'm parked at my desk in a cheap swivel chair, in what can only be described as a horrendous sitting position. Both of my legs are contorted so that all my body weight rests upon my knees and my spine is drooped forward. Exactly the sort of pose that would elicit cries of horror from my dear ballet mistress. I can feel a new roll in my stomach that wasn't there before, reminding me to get more exercise. Or maybe I could just sit up straight. I shift in my seat, temporarily assuming a more upright position. I pick up another cookie that's been around for a questionable amount of time and take a bite, fixated by my monitor, watching the terminal print thousands of lines of updates. Mid-bite, the program crashes. Find the bug, clean up the code, compile, repeat. Just tiny micro adjustments on the logistic growth function to perfection. That's the plan, at least. A quick glance at the clock reveals that it is past 5 a.m., and I've been coding for well over 12 hours. I pause to rub my eyes, smearing the black eyeliner I put on yesterday morning. But then I see the bug, and that sliver of adrenaline is just enough to tide me over until the next stale cookie. I find myself in the classroom less than 4 hours later, showered and donning a fresh face of eyeliner. I plop into a seat in the back corner and wait for the final presentations to start. Pairs of classmates take turns presenting their work, explaining their projects and takeaways. When it's my turn, I push myself to a standing position and shuffle to the front of the room, hands shoved in the pockets that I can only reach when I'm slouching. And then I feel a sort of blankness, a sudden freedom and disconnection from the body I've had the luxury of ignoring. There's a numbing sense of exhaustion, yes, but also a fluttery anticipation that I haven't felt in a long time. It's like standing in the wings before the curtain goes up. The moment before all the hours of rehearsal and preparation are put on display. I click the present button, and I'm on stage again.